Oh, excuse me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Team Alliance.
Okay. All right, here's my feed. We good to go. All right. What's up, Bimani? What's happening, man? I'm finally getting situated on these charts. I don't have up until 5 o'clock, but I think I'm good until about 4:15. So I got over almost 2 hours, like an hour and change, to be on these charts, see what it do. All right, let me get this live out there. Um, okay. All right, so what about my timer? Timer's not in sync. And I know I got internet, but it's like it's acting a little funny. And I don't like that. Come on, internet, don't do me dirty like you did me yesterday. I was driving around for 15 minutes yesterday looking for the internet. Max, what's good? What's up? JT, what's happening? Hungry, huh? Please don't start talking about no food, because I ain't eat nothing yet. This internet is slightly sketchy. Not solid sketchy, but it's slightly sketchy. Not sketchy, but it's kind of sketchy. What's up, Stacy? All right. Damn, and where I'm at is it should give me some good internet right here. I understand what the problem is. Come on, man. This unbelievable. I'm in the parking space. Got to get out the parking space and move back. So retarded. Now, when I move back, it'll work. Stupid. Like right here. It should work right here. It works right here. Mind you, the space is right there. I had to back up just so the internet works. It's retarded. And there's more sun over here too. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Alright. What's up, Adam? It's good, man. Yeah, it was an interesting morning to say the least. All right, and let's see. Yeah, hang on a second. I gotta make a phone call. Yes, sit tight. All right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all always stick it out with me. Y'all always stick it out. All right. Had to take a phone call real quick. So now I'm dialed in. Let's take a look at these charts again. Gonna get a feel. Let me see what y'all talking about. What's up, Shar? What's up, Joshua? What's up, Otis? Campbell, what's good? I know. Everybody about to flip out like, yo, where the sound? What? Somebody said, okay, I see it. Adam let you know that I was on the phone. All right. That's funny. Shit, it's about to be ruckus in here. Yes, that's very true, Mangoes. He said, crazy to think you do what you do from your car and free internet. Can't imagine the conversation you have with people and the funny looks when you tell them what you do. They don't even, like, they can't even comprehend what it is, which is insane because it's very real to us. It's very real to me. I'm like, like I got excited about it yesterday when we were on training, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, like I'm comparing how things are for us now versus when I started trading. And I'm like, yo, that shit is like night and day. Like when I started trading, you had to have money to open an account and do anything. You 25,000 was the minimum to open an account with any broker. They didn't even get to many lots and many like to mini and micro accounts until like this had to be like 7 years after I started. By the time they actually started, allowed like for mini accounts and you can start with 500, stuff like that. And it like they scaled it down. First it went from 25,000 to 10,000, then to 5, then 2,500, then 1,000. When it was down to 1,000, I was hyped about that. Then it went down to 500. I was like, okay, they want to let everybody in. So now, we have NADEX. NADEX is 250, and then after 250, we starting with 100. And this is why I always talk about it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get the skill. Once you have it, you don't care. Like, you don't care how long it took. I think I put a post up the other day talking about that. Yep. Shaw said was going to smash the laptop. Don't do it, Shaw. Don't do it. Oh, man. Mango said a lot of people think $100 is too affordable to set yourself free, but with skill and mindset, let's go. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you see what Don just said? He said people used to have to call in orders to make a trade, so the fills were horrible. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there was a time when they didn't have limit orders. It was like if you let your broker know the price you prefer to get in, they would try to get you that price, but they wouldn't. And they had a disclaimer that said we don't guarantee that the fills. In other words, you can get filled at whatever price. So there was just so much shadiness and manipulation going on behind the scenes, and you being on the retail side of it, you don't know what's going on. You don't know anything. What's happening, Muhammad? I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. I'm glad that you're getting some value from the content. Yeah, man. But like though, it's so funny now when I think back. I'm like, dang. Like we came a long way in this trading thing, man. So I guess now at this point, this so like now we're so far advanced, like into the internet, and we're on social media, and everything now is kind of like mainstream. So people are not shocked if you tell them that you trade online. They know what you mean, but their first association is the stock market, because everybody thinks when you say the market that you're talking about the stock market, because that's what is on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's talked about on television. They don't know about the foreign exchange market. They don't know about current. They don't know what currencies are. They hear stuff, but they don't know what it is. And if they don't think it's the stock market, they think that you trade in Bitcoin, because that's what everyone hears about. So whatever's popular and in the mainstream is always going to be what people are familiar with. So when you talk to them about what you actually do, it's like, damn, you have no clue what I'm talking about, do you? And no, they don't. They don't know what you're talking about. Yep. Sure, I said the best radio station out there. That's hard right there, man. That's awesome. I know that a podcast would be good for this. I don't have time to put it together though, but I actually wouldn't mind doing like a podcast type thing. I think that would be definitely valuable because people like to listen. People listen to podcasts, man. Like I realized that people listen to um what is it called? What's the radio called? Not regular radio. Oh, satellite radio. People listen to satellite radio and they listen to podcasts, man. Adam said, like when I tell someone I'm a stripper, they don't realize I. I gotta always remember to be prepared when Adam has a comment, because he could go anywhere. Oh snap! He's so silly. What's happening, Mick? Andrew said, explaining futures as opposed to traditional stock trading to people is like trying to teach a second language to some folks out there. Yep. Yeah, you can't really blame them though, because look how long it took you to understand what any of it was. I didn't understand things right away, but I don't represent the normal person because that's just my character. That's my personality. So with me, I'm going to just spend the time until I figure it out. But most people don't do that shit. They're like, if they don't get it when you tell them, like you tell them, oh, it's this. If they don't understand, pew, they in the win. They don't understand, they out. They don't even want to talk about it no more. They don't get it. Yep, that's true though. Don said, for many years, the currency market has been a very secretive market. Yes. Yes, it has. Shaw said, have you traded stocks or done day trading? Yeah. Hell yeah. When I first started, I was trading in the stock market. What's up, T? Look at Rose looking crazy. Yeah, when I started out, I was day trading. Well, actually, I wasn't day trading. No, let me take that back. I didn't start day trading until I realized that you could do day trading. When I first started out, I was just buying stocks, like picking out stocks and buying them and making money off of trades. And it's funny because I remember in the early days when I started in the stock market, I was looking at like studying fundamentals of the market. It's so crazy because like I remember at the time, the internet was new. When the internet came and became, like the AOL internet, when it was dial up. That's how far back I go to trading. And I remember like there were times where I literally would be on the internet trying to get into a trade and the internet would drop. Y'all remember that when dial up used to disconnect? Like, yo, that shit was serious. It's dial up. It's dial up. So, she don't see me. It's dial up. So if it dropped or if anything happened with your phone connection, you would lose your internet connection. And you imagine that. Imagine losing your internet connection while you're trying to place a trade. You're trying to get out of a trade. So it was all type of stuff that was going on, man. It's crazy. It was crazy. Don said, used to have an account with Scottrade. Yeah. I think my first account was with, I want to say Charles Schwab. I think it was Charles Schwab because I remember that you had to go to the office. Like you had to physically go to the office to open an account. They wasn't doing online stuff yet. And I remember my first account was with Charles Schwab, and then I had an account with Oppenheimer. And there was another one. I think it might have been Morgan Stanley. I had a brokerage account with Morgan Stanley because I used to be a broker there. So I had a broker's account, which gave me access. Crazy. It's crazy when I think back to what it was and how far we come, man. It's really insane. It's like I feel like where we are now is like a big reward for all of them years of all type of shit that you had to deal with to elevate in your understanding of the market and actually make some money. Like it was so easy to lose money all the time. And it wasn't you losing a little bit of money. We talking about tens of thousands of dollars because that's how much you had to start with. Like, if you were day trade in the stock market, you needed at least 80 to 100,000 in your account to make any money, like real money every day. And I remember when I used to go, they used to have these like places where you can go to day trade. They used to give you it was called a tier 2 account. In other words, they would give you access to a brokerage account, and the account was directly connected to the market, like to the open market. So you could see orders. It was almost like you were a part of the market making process and you were able to see orders, but they were still earning commissions off of the trades that you took. And they made their commissions off of volume. So day traders used to be trading like 100 trades a day because you taking small trades and you trying to make, $10 here, $15 there, and you're trying to keep it small. But for you to make a $10 profit on one trade, you probably had to have a couple of thousand in that trade to get those little moves. Like it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And you talk about stress and pressure, that's all that shit was. Like that's all it was. And you're there, they're giving you access to computers. They had screens up. They had all type of stuff depending on the size of the account that you open. So if you open an account with like 100,000, they gave you access to everything. You had everything. You had like 8 screens up, because they're making their money off of your volume in the market. So they're making the market. They're giving you access to the orders so you can see other people's orders and you can see the flow. You can see the float. You know how many shares are outstanding on different stocks. They had research charts. They was giving you access to the tier 2 quote system. Like what you call the NASDAQ now. That used to be a quote system that didn't exist now, like it does now. Now it's just the NASDAQ. But it was called it was the automated quotations system. They gave you access to that. So it was kind of, you were like behind a wall and you had access to the inner workings of the market. So you can see moves, you can see actual movement in the market, and then do your day trading off of that. That shit was crazy, man. It was crazy. Like It's so funny because I remember that, and I remember by the time I actually had the opportunity to do it from home, that's when, like, after E-Trade started, like you had E-Trade, then you had a lot of other companies that were coming up online that were giving you access to online trading. E-Trade started everything. They started all of the online trading with giving you access as a smaller investor. I think at the time when E-Trade started, you had to start with like 1,000. I think it was about 1,000. Yeah, something like that. Yep. And then after stocks, I made my way to um what did I do directly after stocks? After stocks, I started doing stock options. Got into the options game. But stock options and index options is different than like the options for binaries. Totally different. You had to deal with time decay, you know, like when the option is about to expire, if you're trading the option, the closer that you're getting to the expiration, the value of the option is like it keeps going down until it's worthless. It's not worth any money. You had to deal with that. So we were insane. Like we always was crazy. I used to be trading options that's expiring on they had something called triple witch. Triple witch was when it was a Friday. Like all options used to expire on, I think it was the last Friday of the month, something like that. It was like one Friday out of the month. The options for that month, that's when the options expire. And there was something called triple witch, where everything expired at the same time. You had like options, index options, and a bunch of other stuff. Like that, just thinking about all of that and going back, I'm like, it's amazing that I that I stuck out all of that shit. Like I literally stuck out all of this. Everything I'm explaining to you is stuff that I actually did. And I was very young. Like I was mad young. We talking about when I first got into like just regular investing, like mutual funds. I was 15. When I started with mutual funds, I was too young to open an account. So like I had to one of the first accounts that I had to lie about my age. Another account that I ended up opening, I think my sister opened up the account for me. She didn't even know that she opened up the account for me. I opened up the account using her information for me. So, because I was a minor, I was under 18. So they had something called a Uniform Gift to Minors account, a UGMA. So I opened up that account just so I could start investing on my own. She didn't even know that I did it. So it was just all type of stuff, man, that went on. Like I literally can go on and on and on about how far the industry has come. It's come a long way, man. I'm telling you, long ass way. All right, let me go back real quick in the comments. T said no trades last night. None last night. We did have some in the morning and the afternoon though yesterday. Adam said was currency market trading before. Oh, let me move out of the way. Even though she had mad room. But I don't like nobody getting close to the vehicle. Don't get close to the vehicle. I wonder if I take that space if I lose the internet. No, I should still keep it. It should still be good. Alright, she moving. Let me just swing over real quick. I see the sun move too, so I actually don't have as much sun hitting me, so that's good. That is a good thing. Good thing. All right. Do 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 do. Uh-oh. Is that a glare I see? Where's it coming from? Wait. Still there. How's it coming from over here? What's over here that's hitting it? Wait a minute. What the hell, man? There's a glare. It's bothering me. It's bothering me. Shit. Who else has OCD to this degree, man? This shit is insane. It's like little stuff bothers me. Shit's crazy. I'd rather double park than stay in the space because there's a glare. Who does that? Like, for real, I'm not even joking. Like, I got it bad, man. Got it bad. But it's all good. Glare gone? Yep. Glare's gone. All right. There we go. Now we good. Now, you know Don is old school. He said American online. Anybody says American online is old school. Andrew said, watch a documentary on YouTube called Floored about the open outcry pitch in Chicago. Yeah, about the I think that's for the Chicago Board of Exchange. Yeah, what is it? No, the CBOE, Chicago Board Options Exchange. Yeah. Crazy to think I don't have to shout to get filled. Right. Adam said, making it so easy to trade now also has a downside, feeding the impatience and thirst. Yes, it does. See, now you're touching on something crazy, Adam. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about this. We were on a live, and I had one to talk about that. Let me talk about it a little bit because I don't want to lose my train of thought. Now, when they realized that people who wanted to invest are a part of the same market of people that like to buy shit, consumers. See, anytime you tap into the consumer market, consumers already have a certain type of behavior already. They have no patience whatsoever. Think about how people act at the store. Go to, like, you can pick whatever store you want to, any department store. You see how they have a bunch of registers and they might have 1 or 2 people working at the registers. It's 4 registers not open, 2 registers, there's people working at 2 registers, and the line is long as hell, right? Everybody on that line is going to be pissed off, and people are going to start saying something like they'll rally together because they don't have the patience to just wait on the line. Nobody wants to wait on line. So that trait is already there. They know that people already are like that. Now, the companies that make it possible for you to invest, they're thinking in those terms. They're like, all right, we're going to catch the consumer market, and they're going to be so attracted to the fact, the idea of being able to make money, even though we know that they're not really going to ever make no money. But they're going to continue to spend money by attempting to make money because that's consumer behavior. They do, I'm telling you, they do studies behind how people act before they implement certain things. And I know that for a fact. Before they set anything up, they're looking at how the consumer is behaving. They're making it available to the consumer by pricing it low. That's why you got smaller accounts now. You can start off small. The whole idea is starting off small. They know what they're doing. They tapping into that consumer market heavily. And what's the result? They make billions of dollars as a result. You know, as a collective. In the industry, these companies are making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. And it's all based off of the same emotion that somebody has when they go to the casino. The idea that you can win money, that you can make money. People are more fascinated by the idea of making money than they are by actually making any money, which is insane. That is insane. But that's what people do, man. It's behavior. It is behavior. T said, OG in the game, my grandfather was with Charles Schwab. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bimani said, I got tricked out of money so many times with stock options. Please. Is stuff options have something called covered calls where you can make passive income? Yeah, they used to have what was called covered calls, and then they had covered call writing. Covered call writing was like when you wrote the option, but really what it meant was that you're selling the option. So if you were the seller of the option, you would collect the premium at the end off of the time decay. So all the market had to do was not penetrate your strike if you sold the option. And as long as it didn't penetrate the strike, you would collect the premium at the end when the option expires. But the risk of that is that there was unlimited risk. If the market does go above your strike, you're losing money for every point that the market moves in excess of the strike price. So there literally was unlimited risk if you did writing, if you did covered call writing. So it wasn't even, you couldn't even do covered call writing unless you had like a six-figure account anyway. Like you couldn't do it at all. If you were regular, you couldn't do that. Because it was unlimited risk. And they didn't, at that time, they were not covering with margin. Like there was like, I don't know if any of you remember, in a regular account, there was a possibility of you getting a margin call. Like if you over traded, if you over leveraged your account, you could get a margin call in your account because the movement of the market has exceeded the value of the actual money in your account. So they basically take you out of the trade because you have exceeded the margin. And they'll let you know beforehand. They're like, listen, you within 10% of your margin, so you better make a deposit. Otherwise, you might have a margin call. Because people used to get into trades and just hold on to them even though the trade is going against them, and they would lose all type of money. And then when in Forex, they redirected the way that the account was set up so that you couldn't get a margin call, but you could blow your account. So it was the same difference. But it's like you would blow your account automatically. It would blow out. If you didn't have enough money in there, your money was gone. They would automatically execute that order and you would be out that trade and your account would be gone. So it always has been a situation where if you don't know what you're doing, you're done. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. You got me thinking about all type of shit. He said I sound like Cypress Hill when I said don't get close to the vehicle. JT, I saw a crazy ad on Pinterest from NADEX. It said something like the perfect place for impulsive traders to trade when they want how they want. Wow. Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. And listen to what they said though. So first of all, they calling a spade a spade. The perfect place for impulsive traders? And then look how they flip it though. When they want it how they want it. Yeah, all right. They smart, man. They smart. They know how to market to people. Paley said, I wish demo was like live. It's so easy to make money on the demo. Mick said, African Americans constitute $1.23 trillion in consumer spending year over year. Yes, they do. Yes, we do. Black folks spend a lot of money, man. Yep. And that's not new. Like that, it's been like that. That's been a trend. I'm thinking back to when it was like closer to 600 million. How long ago that was? This is 2019. We were spending 500 or 600 million like since the year 2010. I think we hit $1 trillion in 2015 or 16. 2015, I think we finally hit $1 trillion in spending. It's insanity, man. Spend a lot of money, man. But don't get it twisted. It ain't just black folk. Don't get it twisted. Yep. Don said that's why they call retail traders, because they knew one click of the button will result in impulse, like retail buyers. Bingo. Bingo. That is exactly right, Don. Retail trader? You a retail trader? like you going to the store. They're like, yeah, bring that store money over here. We'll take it. Jay Carly said, you need to know yourself because there is an excitement factor and you got to get out that mindset. Facts. That's a fact. There's a rush. There is a rush. There is a rush, and it's hype. People easily get caught off of hype. You know, it's easy to get into something because of hype, and it's easy to get smashed because you got into it because you were hyped up to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to do that. I'm looking at the market, by the way, while I'm talking. It's not that much going on at the moment right now. So when I see things change, I will say something. When I see something, I'll say something. See something, say something. Let me come back over here. Don said, because it's easy money, but it's not easy money. Right. It's the perception of easy money, and that's enough for everybody. That's enough for somebody to go ahead and open up an account and give it a shot. It's the perception of making easy money. And that's why I'm very proud of the fact that I'm able to offer my insight as an experienced person in the industry, because my insight is education within itself. Like if you just listen to the stuff I can tell you about that used to be, you get an education, because you're like, damn, it came from that. Yes, it did. It just like what I was talking about a minute ago with how far it's come. You can hear that and just be like, oh, so maybe I need to kind of really do some, get some real knowledge about this before I get into trading. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody might run into some of my content and it will redirect their thought process. So instead of them looking at it like gambling, they look at it like a real thing that you can do, and they actually take it serious and get some real knowledge first. You know what I'm saying? Get some real education, first of all, and get some know-how. You know, like learn about the market, learn how to navigate the market. Don't just open up an account, throw, a couple of $100 in it and think you're going to make $1 million. Don't do that's retarded. That's retarded. Oh, you can make a lot of money with Bitcoin. You can make a lot of money in the market, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man. Nah. But that's true. That's what it is. Because I have a friend who has a very addictive personality. He didn't want to learn to trade because he knew that about himself. Hey, I would rather the person not trade either. If you know that you're not at a point where you're willing to learn how to control yourself, you don't need to trade. You don't. You don't, because if you know that you're not going to change, you done as soon as you start. As soon as you begin, you finish, because you're going to do it. You're going to do the bullshit. And you know that you're going to do the bullshit. So, yeah, I agree with that. I don't think you should get into it at all if you know that you don't have no self-control and you know that you a gambler. Just leave it alone. And definitely, if you know that you don't have no patience and you ain't willing to work on that, it's not for you. It is not for you. What Patrick is saying is very true. He said, we'll eat up the impulsive. You're right. You are absolutely right. See, and that's the thing. It's like, it's not my fault that you're the way that you are. I just know that I'm in position to capitalize because I'm not you. If you're the one that comes on this platform, just trading away, just, hey, let me trade. If you do that here, it's like bleeding slow. And we're on the other side of that for purposes of us making money. We're benefiting. It's not that we're taking advantage of inexperienced people. We're benefiting from inexperienced people because they're inexperienced and they're going to be that anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm telling you to come over here. Like, hey, come over here. Just so I can smash you. You coming over here because you think that you're going to come here and you're going to make a bunch of money. But then you come here with no skill whatsoever. And if it's the flip, it's the opposite. You don't make no money. You're losing all the money that you are putting into your account. Now, we're going to get a piece of that without a doubt because of how people are many times being trained to think. Just like the whole, like, you know how we make the most money, to be honest with you, on the NADEX platform? We're making the most money from people that love risk reward. The people that love risk reward, that like to trade out the money and all of that, that's who we getting. That's who we getting. They love risk reward. Oh man, I'm only risking $20. I only risk $15 on this trade. I know. You only risked it and you only lost it. Thank you. So that's how I look at that, because that's what it is. So it's a very specific thing that goes on because of how we trade and wait for opportunities to come. But the simple fact is that people are going to trade like that anyway. People are going to trade out the money, at the money all the time, because they like the idea of good risk reward. And to them, that's a good thing, even though they're not considering the fact that they're losing most of their trades. You're losing most of your trades because you don't know how to recognize the environment that you're supposed to be in order to win those trades. You don't know what you're doing. You're just looking at the trade setup. Oh, this looks like a good trade right here. Only $10 risk. Yeah, that's good. I only risk $10 on that trade. I could make 90. Yeah, you could also lose $10 9 times, which is probably what you're gonna do. Yep, probably what you're gonna do, bro. J. Carr said they're programming people to spend above their means. That's real. Yep. Adam said, I was like, just African Americans spend a lot of money. I better take a DNA test. Oh, snap. That is hilarious. Yep. Jay Carly said, and all the money that's spent is to impress another person or group of people knowing you in mad debt. Yep. People do it every day, man. Every day. That's why I always feel I feel really good because you know, yes, my wife shops. Even I shop more now than I probably have ever done, but it's primarily because when you have kids, you just find yourself buying shit all the time. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like you have kids, it's automatic shopping, automatic. Even when you try not to be, you know, you try to be frugal as possible. You're going, you know, it's your kids, so you just gonna get them stuff. And for whatever reason, the fact that you getting them stuff makes you feel like, well, shit, I'm buying you a bunch of shit. I'm gonna get me some too. And next thing you know, now everybody's getting something. So if you the frugal type now and you ain't got no kids yet, I guarantee you that'll change when you do get kids. It's a switch that goes off, without a doubt. But yeah, no, what I wanted to say was that I feel good when I see like people be in the store with credit cards. Credit. And you know, because they ain't putting in no pen, they're signing. And I'm like, damn, people really be using credit cards a lot, like for everything. And I'm like, no wonder people are in so much debt all the time because it's just like, hey, just swipe it. I'm like, you got to pay that back first of all, and the interest rate is ridiculous. Interest rate on credit cards is retarded. It's like 30%, something crazy, and I'm like, damn. And people be holding balances. Like it's not like they charge it and pay it off. People be in mad debt, man. I used to tell my wife that all the time. I'm like, yo, stop thinking that these people is using money. That they ain't using money. That's credit. When you see them people in Marshalls and Target and Walmart and all of that, buying all that stuff, look, when you get to the register, look and see what they do. I bet you they not entering the PIN number. They charging it. When you see them pick up the little pen and sign, come on, man. That's credit. That's credit. Mick said, just on some Greenwood, Oklahoma for those who know their history. Yep. Yep. Jay Carly said the rush leads to blackout trading. Adam said, Mick always dropping the knowledge. You know it. You know it. JT said, yeah, it was very blatant and obvious with what they were saying. I was surprised, but not surprised after I thought about it. I'm not sure. What was that? What you talking about right there, JT? About something that Mick said? Wait, what did I miss? I'm trying to follow along with what y'all was talking about. Well, you'll get me up to speed. I'll catch it eventually. And then you Google. Oh, okay. You Google what Mick was talking about with Oklahoma. That must be what it was. All right. What's up, Osmond? Jay Carly said, I'm people. Oh, snap. She said, I got my credit score up by 200 points using cards and then paying them off each month. But that can get out of control and you have one bad month. Listen, all it takes is one bad month. All it takes is 1 month of missing the payment. And you can kiss your score goodbye. 1 month. You could have had 50 months of of consistent payments and miss one, and your credit score go from 7 something to 5 something. Yep, that is a fact. Or for 1 month. Also, your debt to your what is it called? The debt to balance ratio. Whatever the ratio is that they use, the balance versus the available balance. I think it's the is it the debt to limit ratio? I think it's the debt to limit ratio, if I'm not mistaken. Mix that debt to credit. I think it's debt to limit. I think that's what it's called, debt to limit, if I'm not mistaken. They call it that debt to income, not the debt to income ratio, the one that they actually use to determine your score. Yeah, like the debt to available credit. Right, right. I think it's debt to limit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the debt to income is when you actually go and trying to do something. Like if you applying for a car or for like a house or something, they looking at that. Oh, the ad on NADEX. Got you. Okay. Okay. I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Is this timer on? Oh man, sorry about the yawn. I know that yawn be infectious. It's infectious. Mick says, sorry, I know credit better than ABCs. Adam said, the only reason is I don't borrow money, so I don't have a need for a credit score. I understand the logic behind that. I used to be like that. Yes. I never understood why people like to stare into your car as they drive by. Like, what the hell are you looking at? Like, can I help you with something? Do you need something? If you driving by, just drive by. Why are you looking? Is it me or am I paranoid? They call it because you're nosy. Well, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Winston said he just used the Visa debit and signed for it. Yeah, debit card is awesome. Debit card definitely awesome. I find that credit is good just to have, even if you don't have any plan on using it. Like that's how I've always thought about it. And there was a time where I didn't care about it. I think everybody goes through that phase. When you don't care about credit, that's when you run up cards and just don't pay the shit back. You know what I'm saying? You just run them up and don't care no more. You know? T said, which is better to trade in terms of better profit margins, Forex or NADEX? Definitely NADEX. Definitely NADEX. And let me just build on that. NADEX, when you are applying skill, when you have market skill, well, having market skill really is a requirement on NADEX and on Forex. You have to have skill in the market in order to be profitable, period. But the ability that you have on NADEX compared to Forex, when you possess market skill, because of the nature of binaries and how NADEX is set up, it ain't even close, man. You can make so much more money on NADEX. It's not even close. Tonight is going to be a very powerful training. We're going to talk about quite a few things, actually. One of the things that damn, man, it was, I think I'm going to have to start writing stuff down, because I be having like a thought, and I run through the whole scenario off the thought in my head, and then I'll forget it, and then it'll come back later. It's almost like it comes back when it needs to come back. That's why I don't write anything down, because when it's necessary, it just comes, and I can't explain that. I don't know what that is, but it works every time. It's like being on a vibration. The universe knows when is the time for the information, and then it comes. It's like, whoom, out of nowhere. So I just rely on that. Which is better in terms of profit margin, trading Forex or binary options? That's the same question, I think, right? Yeah, that's the same question. Yeah, so that's my answer to that question, T. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Make sure the 1% spend off their equity. Equity is 100% tax deductible. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Jay Carly said, having market skill is making it harder now than it was to learn in the beginning. Y'all hear me though? And she's right. I understand that. I understand that clearly. The more skill that you acquire, the more challenges you're going to run into. It's a very interesting dynamic, and the only way to mitigate the risk of when you run into a challenge, like the challenge overwhelms you, and it's kind of like, damn, you feel like you can't get through it. The only thing that mitigates that is training. That's it. That's and I know that, because that's what I do. That is what I do. I train more. If I feel like I almost got caught, or God forbid if I ever get caught, meaning if a loss ever comes across my path, my training regimen is going to adjust again. Yeah, that's how I mitigate things. Adam said, I use Google. What you say? Keep that. Oh, for that kind of stuff, you can type it, video it, or audio record it, and sync to all of your devices. All right. Nicholas, I'll be there tonight. Missed the past few lives, but I watched all the recordings and had 301 on repeat at work. Life stays busy, but always make time to train. Yes. Yes. Jay Carly, that's true. You're always on the right vibe, especially the Jedi mind tricks. Yeah, so I would rather rely on the universe than to rely on me, because if I rely on myself, I'll forget shit. I prove it. I always forget. I'll be talking to y'all, and I could have just said something I already forgot. But then it comes back, and it comes back at the appropriate time. That I trust in that. I believe in that. Mick said Black Wall Street is not so much about race It's more the value of how long certain groups know how to circulate their dollars in their own communities. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's funny is that like everything, anytime I think about something, it always brings me back to the market. What the point that Mick just made, that's about positioning yourself. As a group, you can position yourself through businesses by owning certain businesses. When you pool money together, you can establish businesses without loans. Like there are groups that do this. They don't deal with the bank. They don't go to the bank to get a loan. If they have an idea to open a business collectively, they decide on who has the most knowledge of the business. Oh, you know the most about it, so all right, you're going to run the business. That's the first step. They establish who's going to run it. Second step, we need to put the money up to get the business going. How do they do that? Do they go to the bank? Hell no, they ain't go to no bank. They raise the money up themselves. They collectively save money until they have enough money to establish the business. Then once they establish the business, now the business is up and running. Guess who are the customers and the patrons of the business? The group. They all will collectively go to that business for whatever it is, and that keeps that business in the cash flow cycle. So now that business has the cash flow that it needs. Now the cash flow is there, and now they have money that they can take from that business to accelerate the process of buying or building up the next business. And they keep doing that until they have certain businesses that are in place that represent foundation for a community. It's just like how back in the day you used to always see, a dry cleaner. You would see a butcher. You would see a fruit market or fruit stand or whatever. It's certain type of businesses that are always in place because culturally and community wise, that's what that group likes. That's what they're gonna buy. So they're like, well, we're gonna buy the shit anyway. We're gonna buy from ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So it works. That definitely works. It's like group economics. See, I told y'all, been studying life for a long time, man. And shit just makes sense. Period. And you can take principles and apply it to anything that you're doing at the time. That's why I always relate everything back to the market, because it's like a mirror, man. It really is. Um, Let me see something. Osman. I recently discovered that the NADEX indicative shows the mid price instead of the bid and ask. This can be very detrimental for traders unaware of this fact. I meant bid or ask. You're talking about on the chart. It does have on the chart. You actually have the option. On the chart, it gives you the option to select bid, ask, mid, last shown. I think it's 4 options. I think it's last shown, mid, bid, and ask, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. One of them sound funny. The last shown sounds funny. It might be called something else. It's last something, whatever the hell it is. But on the chart, it gives you those options. But the indicative itself is one number. And the indicative represents a combination of the bid and the ask as an average, but not just the bid and the ask on the NADEX platform. It also incorporates the bid and the ask of pricing outside of NADEX and the actual market to determine what the actual indicative is going to be. That's why anytime that you try to compare the NADEX indicative to outside pricing, you'll see variations of what outside pricing is doing versus what the NADEX indicative is doing. And it's because the NADEX indicative is an average number. It represents an average price of a number of different prices on the NADEX platform and outside the NADEX platform. So it takes all of that into consideration to come to one number. And then that's how that one number will decide the winners and the losers of the actual binary options on the platform for that market. So it's very interesting. That's why the more that you study on NADEX, and this is why we don't use any outside pricing whatsoever. We don't even use the chart. That's how elevated our understanding of the market is. We don't need the chart at all. It's insanity. It's insanity, man. Um, J. Carly, I'm struggling so much more now than I was in the beginning. So training continues forever. I took my first trade today in 6 weeks. Nice. What trade did you post it? What trade was it? What trade was that? Mick said, I be wanting to reach out to all those options trading retards flooding my YouTube and say you are full of shit. Oh man. Adam, it's called Google Keep. He said, from everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded, and from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. Biblical. Paley said, Marcus the Floyd Mayweather of trading. You won't take a loss, just dodge it. Yep. Dodging it. Running around the ring. I'm not chasing you, you chasing me. That's a good analogy right there to use. Because it's like, is that the lady from the nurse? No, that ain't her. That's an awesome analogy. Because I don't chase the market. I don't chase trades. I ain't chasing nothing. Most people are. It's so funny. Let somebody miss a trade. They're gonna chase the market now because they feel like the market owed them that. Like, oh, I missed that trade. Damn. Now you got the fear of missing out, and now you want to go and do something that you ain't got no business doing because you missed the trade. People do that all the time, man. All the time. And it leads to even more inability for them to navigate in the market because they already don't know what they're doing in the market. Already. Mick said, just look at Susu. People without bank accounts are more income efficient than those with the bank accounts. That's a fact. That is very true. Like my grandmother did with the money under the mattress. She ain't mess with no bank until like later. But she was mad old school. She was, she had her money in the house. And always had money. The blueprint is a prime example of 100% self-sufficient and sustainable income. The MTA is that one level above awesomeness. All facts. J. Carly, if you're not on mid or last traded and you don't use the ticket, you're really gonna mess up. Yeah, that's what it was. Last traded. Last traded. I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something else, right? Don said the ask is more suitable for Forex trading because of the spreads. Right. Very true. Right. Yeah. I definitely say that on the regular. To whom much is given, much is required. Yep. Don, paper chasers get chastised all the time, man. Paper chasers get smashed. You literally gonna get beat up. You ever see somebody get beat up and they not fighting back? That's what you're gonna look like. You don't know where them punches are coming from. You're just getting hit. Jay Carly, my weeks of observation led to hesitation and not trusting my skill. Not trusting my skill led to wondering if my life is a lie. I'm laughing because I'm very familiar with Jay Carly. So that's just funny to me. She said, look, my mind is not like most people's, and it really can affect a lot of things. So I feel I have to work 5 times harder than some people. That's the Jay Carly that I know. Paley said, you can make money with at the money. You just have to be super patient. The more money, the harder it is. Yeah, you and not just super patient, but you have to be precise with your timing. I mean, it's no different than trading the way that we trade. Really, when it boils down to it, it it requires probably even a higher level of precision, because when you're entering the trade with at the money, in order for you to get at the money, it means that the actual market is not in the money yet. And it's not at the money either. It's actually out the money. If you look at where the indicative is, in order for you to get pricing when you get into that trade for at the money, like let's say you want to enter at 50. For you to actually get 50, the market is going to be out of the money. In other words, it's not going to be, if you're buying, it's not going to be above the strike. It's going to be below the strike at the moment that you enter the trade. So you have to know what the movement is leading up to, and ultimately understand the correlation between that and where it's going to end. It's like most people that trade at the money don't hold it until the end. They shook. They're not doing that, because that means that your skill level has to be insane for you to know, or at least have the confidence to even take the trade with the anticipation that the market is going to end in your favor. In other words, above or below your strike price, because the market be doing all type of stuff before that. It's doing all type of movement prior to that. So at the money is way more intense than what we do. What we do, all we gotta do is just wait for certain things to get in position and wait for the environment to be right. And once a trade sets up at the right time, bang, we got it. The possibility of losing with what we're doing comes from not having the right timing as far as the environment and behavior. It's learning how to navigate environment and behavior. That's what will lead to a loss. And that's what transitioning is. It's when the market is shifting. It's transitioning from one state to another. And you can get caught up in the middle of a transition and lose. And that's actually what I'm going to be talking about on training, because that's something that is another aspect of what you have to deal with. And it's there's just so much that you are introduced to as time goes by and you expose yourself to the market more. It's just a lot of things that the market reveals to you, especially when you know what you're looking at, when to wait for the market to show you something. And what's interesting too is that that's how most of my knowledge has come. It came from me not doing anything. It came from me watching the market, like not having any expectation, and just every time I get on, I have a clean slate every single time. That's where my knowledge came from. My knowledge base is based on observation, 100%. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Mick said, Jay Carter, you are too real and too helpful for your life to be other than blessed. No lies. Preach to the choir. She said, thank you, preach. Be you out loud or shut up. Yep. She said, I wonder how many at the money traders hold until the end, though. Y'all jumping out? Shots. You know they jumping out. They ain't holding nothing. She said, you know, it took me 390 times 40 times and 392 times 40 times just to circle back around to what I already knew about getting in position. I told you, I think the other day we was talking and I told you that. I said, you do this every time. Every single time. It's almost like it's almost like I expect it. I'm like, all right, she hasn't done it in a while. It's due. Oh, here it is. Crazy. Yeah, but it's all good because I'm also seeing that that's happening. It's happening less, and it's happening to a lesser degree. In the past, you used to trade when you would be in that moment. Now you know not to trade. You go through it, but you're not trading through it. You see what I'm saying? So that's a major difference. Paley said people love at the money because the money is crazy if you get the full amount, but they don't even stay in the trade. Nope. Nope. Jay Carly talking about I Jedi mind trick, the new way to learn what we already know. She said then I get confused until I realize it. And it's so funny. I remember the night on training when you were doing it. I was like, here she goes again. And I think somebody else said something. I think Matthew might have said something too. Yep, I remember. I remember. Overthinking. Yep. And that's what I mean about like mitigating. What I do is I mitigate all of the shit that can go on by training like a maniac. That's how I deal with it. Anytime I feel anything that feels funny or off, I train with something specific. Sometimes I'll go through the playlist and I'll just look at the titles of the playlist, and whatever I feel funny about, I look for a keyword in the playlist and that's the one I watch. Then I watch it, then I go back to 301, watch another one, go back to 301, and I just keep doing that. Boom, 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 boom. Mind you, this goes on all day. The only time that I'm not doing that is when I'm on the live stream. When I come on the live stream, this is a different zone. Like the zone I'm in now, this is output. When I'm in training mode, it's input. I'm absorbing and listening. I'm not talking. When I'm on here, I'm giving back now. You see what I'm saying? And then this will become input later. It's such a loop. It's insane. Because I watch the lives too. Yo, man, oh man. Something else. She said, yeah, Buddha said I was tripping. He was right. Yes, he was. Market is slowing down too, by the way. It is slowing down. Yes, it is. Mick said, overthinking is so much easier than over understanding. We must get out of our own way. Emotion is the roadblock that should be a speed bump. Jay Carly already took it. I didn't even have a chance to say nothing. Mangoes. I know Jay Carly. Once I understood position and see clear, you question everything. Ooh, Jay Carly nailed it on that. This right here, she nailed it just now. I'm reading just the first part of the sentence. I ain't even gonna read it yet. Hold up. Let me come back to the chart real quick. I'm gonna go back to that. She hit it on the head. Damn. See, that's how you know when somebody gets, like sometimes you'll feel like you got off the vibe. You can't get off the vibe. The vibe is showing you something when you feel like you off. You still on it. It's revealing something to you. And the something that is given you is going to elevate you. And you don't understand it yet. That's why you feel like you're not on the vibe right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how that goes. All right, hold on. Let me watch this real quick. I want to see how this behavior ends up looking. That's more so what I'm interested in at this moment. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. Now, you guys see how this is looking? This is how the market transitions. Exactly what you're seeing. It transitions, man. You have to give the market time to transition. There are times when you see inklings of, excuse me, of stability in the market, but it's not there yet. How many times have y'all heard me say that? It looks pretty good, but it ain't there yet. Like what? Like why do I say that? I say that because that's a specific thing to be able to recognize. The transition shows you the market is making its way into the state that you are waiting for, but it ain't there yet. It's almost there. It could get there. It might get there. It more than likely will get there, or it could potentially not get there. Everything I just said could be the case. You don't know what the case is yet until the market gets there. You know when the market gets there. And that's what you're doing in your observation is you're studying. Along the way to the market getting there, you're studying so that you know what it looks like when the market almost got there but didn't. You know what that looks like. You know what it looks like when the market kind of got there but not quite. You know what that looks like. You know what it looks like when the market is about to get there. You know what that looks like. You know what it looks like when the market might get there, but I'm not sure. You know what that looks like. You see what I'm saying? You're studying the market and all of the nuances and all of the shit that it does. How can you not figure it out? It's only a matter of time. You're becoming familiar with the processes within the process. There are nuances inside of the movement of the market and inside of the way that the market is transitioning. It don't just go from A to B. It's moving from A to B, and when it's in between A and B, it could be doing this. It could do this for a while. And while it's doing this, you're studying this. You're familiarizing yourself with this. Then it goes to B. Then you're like, all right, it's at B now, but I saw all the shit it did in between A and B. That's skill. That's the elevation of your skill right there. Is the study of that. I'm telling y'all, man, this is gonna be a good training tonight too. Yep, it's gonna be good. Jay Carly says, see, the thing is that I always think Mark is going to eventually teach us some secret trick. But the secret trick is to train. And to know thyself. Come on, man. Hit it on the head, man. Can't get no better than that. For real. Like, as far as clarity, shit. That says it all right there. And that's the funny thing, too, because you know what that is? That's the nature of everybody. That's the nature of a person. You always think that, oh, this time This is it. And then when you hear it again, it's the same shit that happened last time. It just sounded a little different this time to you, but it's the same thing. It's the same. It didn't change. You thinking it's gonna be something extra, something different. It's the same thing. So what's really changing? What's really changing is you. You're actually elevating, and as you elevate, you're becoming a new creature. I don't want to take you out of church. Trying to chill. Trying to chill. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, what did this 4 o'clock do? I didn't see this one set up. What happened to my alarm? I'm waiting to hear my alarm. I'm not hearing it. J. Carly says, so that's why I was confused. I thought I was learning something new, and nope. Mm-mm-mm. Bingo. Transitioning while positioning. It's all a matter of timing of behavior. Yes. She said I had to watch the 11:55 about 14 times to realize what the problem was. And there was time to wait, then a back tick, then prices was in and out. Exactly. The transition. The transition and all of the signs of transition. And the end result of recognizing when you're in transition is that there's still a level of instability. That's the key. What is this? If this represents transition, look at what I'm doing. What does this represent? That is instability. It's the very essence of stability. A is here, B is here. It's trying to get from here to here, but it's doing this. Come on, man. Mm-mm-mm. That's it. Don said the only strategy is ourselves. We are the creator and destroyers of our lives. Slav. He said, my faith has been dropping and coming back up in the cycle. It's interesting, ain't it? You didn't realize how many layers that there are to you. Why you think not even one of the first things. What's the first thing I say literally every night on training about the market? I let you know you're going to learn a lot about the market. But what's more important is that you're going to learn about yourself in the process. The funny shit is that most people are not ready to deal with themselves yet. They don't even understand what that means yet, because they're not making the connection between themselves and the market. They look at the market as a separate entity outside of themselves. And although the market does dictate everything to you, it does do that, absolutely. But it ain't something that's outside of you that is controlling you. It's something that's outside of you that you are observing. You see it, you're watching it. And as it does what it does, you're not allowing what it does to decide what you do. You're allowing what it does to show you what to do. Ooh, that's hard. If you caught that just now, Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, the 4 o'clock, I saw that at the end. Yeah, if you talk about instability. See, it's so funny because there's a difference between when you see jerkiness and then you see a last second slap. When you see them last second slaps, it's a different level of jerk. It's a different degree of it, and the timing is different. This right here gonna tell us a lot right here. Info, give me the info. A lot of information here. A lot of information right there. That says a lot. It's saying a lot. Ooh, ooh, that's telling a story right there, boy. Tell me something. Come on, market, talk to me. Talk to me. All right, I hear you. See, this type of shit I be doing. You heard me how I talk through? That's how I be talking, just like that. That was a lot of information right there, man. A lot of information. Um, yeah, how you do a thing is how you do everything. Facts. JT, aka chasing the market, be in the present time of the market, not ahead or in the past. Facts. Joshua, after looking back, the follow through trade after the MRMH had back and forth movement under, even though price and stability was there, that one must have been the transition hint. Bingo. Bingo. I told Joshua earlier, step away. What is very interesting is that, like, the emotion that you get from a loss is something that becomes physical when you're in the process of actually training. For someone that's learning this skill, a loss is more it's more valuable to you than to the average person that loses, because the value is understanding and breaking down the reason behind your loss. And what's so crazy is that as you're doing this, every time that you lose is because of you. And that's something that you don't easily accept right away. You don't just accept that, because you got to get, first of all, you dealing with the emotion and the feeling of it in the first place. It's kind of the same emotion that you get from winning. Like, how do you feel when you win a trade? It feels great to win a trade. There's a difference between the feeling that you get from winning a trade and the feeling that you get when you won a trade and you know why you won. Are you following me? Is that making sense? Anybody can win a trade. Anytime somebody win, they feel good about it. You could have won a trade by one micro pip, and you feel like you was lucky. You feel good. If I win a trade that I know I shouldn't have been in, I feel bad if I win. I will feel worse about being in a trade that I had no business being in if I win the trade. That's the degree that I've flipped The emotional shit that you have to deal with. I did that inside of myself on myself. I reversed the whole thing mentally and psychologically and emotionally. And when you do that, you elevate. This is why I'm like this. Because every time that you go through it, you're like, yo, I ain't lose that trade because of what the market did. I lost that trade because of what I did. You realize that you missed something, you weren't paying attention to something, you didn't do everything that you could have possibly done at the time, for whatever the reason is. It might have been, you know, this one right here is priced out, right? Yeah, it's priced out. It might have been that at the time, it could be anything. But regardless of what it is, you have to always be held accountable for the fact that it was you still. Because the same reason why you won't take a trade, it could be the same reason why you do take a trade. And you have to make sure that your intent is the same either way. You have to do it with purpose. It's like, nope, I ain't take that one. Well, why not? It didn't feel right to me. If you tell me that, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't say nothing to you because when you say it didn't feel right, it means you saw something either within yourself at the time that lets you know, nah, this is not a good time for you to take that trade. Not, oh, this is not a good trade to take. The way that it flips around is it's not a good time for you to take the trade. And then we move into a whole nother. Now you on that side of the vibration where the elevation is, and it's like it's purposeful, and you know why you elevating now. It's just like knowing why you winning and losing. It's so many degrees to this, like it's crazy, and it's so crazy to me, like how I see it, because I'm able to see it because I'm on it and constantly doing this shit. Just each time it goes up. And it becomes even more and more clear. Becomes clearer and more vivid and real. It's like anytime that I look at everything, I know why I'm not going to trade. I know why I am going to trade. I know why you took that one with 50 contracts, the other one you took with 40. I don't know, but I do know. In other words, I can't explain it to you, but I know. And I'm going to always go off of the no. I'm never going to go off of, oh, I think. I think this should hold. You know I'm not taking the trade like that. When I take the trade, I'm like, this. That's it. This. If I'm going to take the trade, you'll hear me say this. And I'm in that trade. Sometimes I might miss the trade or not get filled or whatever, or maybe I was late. But no, if I'm saying this, I'm in it. Osmond said, Mark continuously drops these stank-faced nuggets of knowledge and understanding. Oh, man. Jay Carly, oh, that was hard. James said he's following. It makes sense. Take it or don't take it with purpose. Solid, man. Solid. She said, my 6 weeks of no trade was the most eye-opening ever. And again, self-reflection. Paley, is when you know why you won is like a superpower. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Knowing why you win, knowing why you don't take a trade. Oh my goodness. Like, and I'm trying my best to navigate the idea of not caring. Like, I'm trying to communicate that effectively. I've touched on it, but there's a deeper level of that too that plays its part that I'm going to get to. I didn't get to it yet. I still have to work on it because I don't know yet how to effectively communicate that feeling. But the whole I don't care about it feeling, man, it's like the fuel for pushing and deflecting fear away from you. That's probably the best way that I can describe that. Imagine literally not being afraid of anything. Do you realize how empowered you are to not be scared of nothing, even when you're right in front of shit that you know will fuck you up, and still not scared? You looking at it, you're like, yeah, this right here probably gonna chop my head off, and you remain in place right there. You should just stay there and don't move. It's like that. It's like looking at danger, knowing that it's danger, and you don't care. That's not, to get to that place, that's a whole nother dynamic that you're dealing with, because that's a scary place at first for you, because you're like, wait, this right here is gonna fuck me up. Hold up. Your rational thinking is like, wait, danger. Like, it's screaming, danger. And instead of you moving away from it, you stay there. Imagine that. What is it in you that has you staying there and you not scared to stay there? That's the feeling. So it's the equivalent of that. Like I kind of think about that in terms of like how somebody in a war, like, how they used to fight in Civil War, the British wars. These dudes, the way that they fight, first of all, is stupid, because it's with rules. The rule is, okay, this side, firing line here, you'll shoot. That side, firing line, you'll shoot. You're literally giving the enemy the chance to shoot at you. Like, you take your shot, bow. They take their shot, bow. You take your shot, bow. And you're doing this back and forth. And each soldier is trained to stand there. You train not to break the line. Mind you, they're shooting at you. You're looking at them shoot at you. You just, pow, smoke. And you still standing there. And it's like, okay, imminent danger is directly over there shooting at us. Might die today. And you still standing there. You understand? That's the level. That it's like being like that, because that's real. That's what people actually did. One side shoots, the other side shoots, and they're going back and forth. There was a Jackson, the commander of, I think he was the commander of the Confederate Army, if I'm not mistaken. Stonewall Jackson, right? Why did they call him Stonewall? This dude used to, where he would be positioned in the battle, he's on the horse like this. Sitting on the horse, just sitting there. Instead of him being, in the back behind the line, away from where all of the shots is flying and everything is going. He right there in the middle of everything, sitting on the horse, not moving. Stonewall Jackson, just sitting there like this, giving his orders or whatever, delegating authority. Never got hit, never got touched, doing that. Like, first of all, who does that? Come on, man. Like, when you actually think about it, it's crazy. It's an insane level of what a person can achieve on a psychological, emotional, or mental level. It lets you know what you're capable of arriving to, and look at how the universe moves though, because when you elevate to that point, it's pushing fear away, and the fear being absent pushes the danger away. Think about that. That has to be the case. The not having fear pushes the danger away from you. All right. You're on another level right now. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Don said, all about deliberate practice. That's what makes perfection. Yep. Some people can be practicing and don't know why they're practicing. Exactly. Jay Carly, I feel like not caring and trusting your skill go hand in hand. If you're scared of something, go skydiving. Seriously, do the things you fear the most. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Because you cannot, there's no other explanation for it other than that. You can remove fear to the point where you literally push danger away. In other words, because you're not scared, the shit don't happen. Woo! Damn. JT said there was no guerrilla style warfare then. That was a very stupid way to fight. Right. Logically, it is stupid. I'm not doing that. That's stupid to me. Like Russian roulette, right? Mick said Shaka Zulu was the one who obliterated colonial battle tactics. Yes, he did. As one while continuously moving. Yes, he did. They run right up on you. Right up on you. He was like, listen, I'm here to kill you. I'm not here to be going back and forth with you all day. Run up on your ass and stab you. Bye. Yep. Because as a matter of fact, in African warfare, the traditional way that they used to fight, they used to throw the spear. They would throw the spear. And it was like, I don't know, I guess they just threw spears all day. You know, you had a shield and you could put your shield up to block the spear when it came. He changed it. He changed everything. His strategy was simple. All right, we fighting them. All right, cool. We got to be faster than them. We got to be stronger than them. And we got to run straight up on them and kill them. That's it. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. And it's like he put fear in everybody, and everybody was scared. So it's amazing when you study like history and just the way that things have transpired throughout history, because you can find value in the psychological aspect of it and then use that information for something. Like that's how I always look at everything, you know. I think studying people who were like clinically deemed to be insane, there's a lot of information in whatever it is that they had going on psychologically that we don't know about yet. You know, like people that are serial killers and people that do, you know, horrible things. If we knew more, I think that we would be able to do more with the knowledge. But it's because we don't know a lot about what led up to them being how they are. The process. That's why you can't relate to what they became. It's like, why are you a serial killer? Like, why are you going around killing anybody? What happened? Something must have happened. Because you don't just wake up one day and be like, all right, I'm going to do this. No, it's a process that brings you to that point. So the more we know, the more we study, the more we're going to learn. Yep. Joshua said, wow. Jay Carly, literally, I was scared of everything. I went skydiving and you couldn't tell me shit for 5 years. What's up, Pat? Don said the most successful people don't have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you shouldn't put all your eggs into one basket. And they're like, nah, fuck that. I'm doing this. And it's all or nothing. Like they go and they just do that and that's it. But the thing about it is that they're going to be responsible for what goes on, whether it's good or bad. They're going to do it and they're going to own it. Good, bad, and different. It don't matter. That's it. Like they make a switch in their mind. Switch goes off. I'm doing this now. That's it. And that's a level. That's a level. And it's like if you explore that level, it's like, damn, how can they do that? I don't think I could do that. I know that you can't do that because you haven't elevated enough to that level to understand it in the first place. But it's like when you begin to do certain things and you begin to navigate and explore and observe, you learn so much that it elevates you in the process of the learning. And you begin to resonate with certain things like, oh, I understand how somebody could be like that. I understand how somebody could do that. Because you tap in as you're learning, and so much of the learning comes from observation. See, like that's what's so crazy about it all. Observation is really how you learn the most. Paley said, discovery mark in the building. I know, right? I'll be all over the place. J. Carly, if you study the history of Vikings, I promise this will help you. History helps you with stuff. Yeah, Vikings. You know who else was crazy? Whew. Man, the way that Russians used to fight. The way they used to fight in Russia, when they were fighting in the World War, they had posts of machine guns, right? Because they had one strategy. Their strategy was attack. Like run, shoot, and when you get up close to dudes, you start stabbing them. That's it. That's the strategy. They would send in their troops in waves. Now, what's crazy is that where they had the machine gun set up, the machine guns wasn't set up to shoot at the enemy. The machine guns was set up to shoot at you if you tried to turn back and go back the other way. If you're on the Russian side and they tell you to go, you go. If you try to turn back, they will shoot you. They would shoot their own soldiers if they turned around. And they said, the basis of that is you a coward and you deserve to die. So we don't allow cowards. You can't be a coward over here. But see, mind you, when you got into the Red Army, you were young. You was a kid, more than likely. You was young. You wouldn't even know what to expect. You get there, they hand you a gun. You probably don't know how to use the gun yet. And they're like, go. They got a whistle. They're blowing the whistle. Go. Go. They're doing like this. Go. You don't even know what the hell you're doing, where you going. You just running with the gun. You just came off a ship or you came off or whatever. And go. Try to turn around, they're going to shoot you. Come on, man. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. And this is all real, like this is real stuff that has happened in history. Otis said General Butt Naked in Liberia changed the game for real. General Butt Naked. There was a study of 83,000 brain scans in serial killers, bipolar people, people that are really messed up. Their brain scans were different from normal people and similar to each other. It ain't an accident. That's a lot. That's a lot of information, man. See, and I believe that information like that helps us collectively as humanity. I don't think that it hurts us. I think the less we know, the more that we get hurt. The more that we know, the better we become. Because you begin to learn enough to know how to help people to avoid getting into certain environments and having certain experiences that are traumatic, that set off some in their brain that one day, boom, they snap. And it's like, yeah, one day this happened and then they snapped that day and they ain't been the same ever since. So you can figure out how to help folk navigate so that they don't go through certain experiences. You remove them from environments where certain experiences are more likely to happen. Like, I mean, it's on so many different levels, man. That shit is crazy. That's crazy. Because if you want to learn things quickly, like just something, search for whatever the subject and put TED Talk. Yeah, the TED Talks are very good. Yep. Don said the most dangerous person is a person who feels like they have nothing to lose. Man. Gary said, didn't Grace Jones play Shaka Zulu in the movie? Nah, she didn't play him. She played his mother. She played Nandy. Nandy was his mother. That's funny. He said that Grace Jones played Shaka. Like I know she a little strong in the face, but damn. Nah, but Grace Jones was actually very pretty. If you actually look at how she looks, she's a beautiful woman. Very pretty woman. Cameron said, "You go ahead and fight. I'm gonna sit back and watch this wartime behavior." Right. All right, lady. I see you. Oh snap! Insanity. Paley said, "I would dodge those bullets like the market." I don't. When I look at movies, you get chills because you like, damn, how they ain't get shot yet? You looking at me like, yo, how he didn't get shot yet? Like looking at where he's standing at, you're like, damn. But that goes to show you that like energy is everything because, I mean, shit. Fear. Fear is an energy fear is an attractive energy. Now that I'm actually thinking about it in more detail, fear is an attractive energy because whatever you're afraid of is what you're going to attract to you. That's crazy. You know how crazy that is? The shit you scared the most of is what you attract. Come on, man. That is insanity. Yo, Falius is crazy. He said, I want that Tony Montana energy from Scarface. Tony Montana. Oh, snap. Jay Carly said her TED talk gonna be fire. Mark and Lulu gonna be in the front row. Life goals. Oh snap! Yep. Market right now is actually moving beautifully, but there is it's out of sync. So there's really nothing to do right now. But the reason that I like this too is because a lot of times this kind of behavior it's going to transcend into the next session. So like when it reopens at 6, a lot of times you'll see this behavior carry over. So that's beautiful. Gary said the jokes make up for my lack of nuggets right now. Yeah, it's all good, man. That was funny though. He said didn't Grace Jones play Shaka? Not was she in it. He said didn't she play him? Yo, that is hilarious. Oh man. Don said 300, one of the best war movies. Cold blooded. Yes. 300 was hard. And that also was hard because they really existed. Those the Spartans. That was really, you know, a very good portrayal of their thinking and the way that they looked at themselves and the reason that they were able to do what they did do. That was crazy. Crazy. Yeah, and they did an excellent cinematic job in that movie. Very good. Yeah, that was a true story. That's what I'm saying. That was a true story. That was a depiction. But you can tell that when they did that movie that they did a lot of study on the psychological and the mental and the way that they thought about themselves together and the way that they trained and conditioned themselves to be like that. Like they was training, their training regimen was crazy. Training in the winter, you know, it's freezing cold outside. You outside, come on, man. I don't want to go outside with a coat on. They was over there training with no, just in their boxer shorts like that. No shirt, no hat. Listen. Don said, I don't think it was a true story, but the mentality in Rome was true. No, the 300 was definitely because that they were in Sparta. Spartans in general, the Spartan army, they they um they were just like how they kind of depicted the group of 300 to be. That's how they were trained to be. What the hell? How did I do that? I must have hit the button over here. I'm looking. I'm like, am I tripping or is this thing opening up in the back? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and they definitely made that movie very entertaining. There was another movie that was a spinoff of 302 that they did after that. I forgot what it was called. Yeah, exactly. Slow motion, all of that. Yup. Yup, you are right about that one. I didn't see it. There was price in there just now. Damn. $4.40. All right. Don said also Gladiator. You mean Gladiator the movie? Gladiator the movie was crazy. That right there. I keep that on deck. That's my movie right there. I'm into like the scores too that they do when they do a good movie. The music. It's so crazy how the music kind of bring you to. It's like it pulls you into the movie. It's amazing how they do that. It's like they know what type of music to play for the scene. That's amazing. That's a skill right there. That is a talent for real. Yes, it is. $4.40. Yeah, the pricing is pretty much out of sync. I thought I saw a minute ago. It looked like it was doing something, but then I looked away. But I doubt that it had pricing on it because y'all would have said something. Yeah. Rise of an Empire. Yep, I saw that too. It because it was based on. Was it the daughter? I think it was his daughter. Right? Like I know it was based on a girl. If I remember. I think it was his daughter. Max said the pricing is trash. I feel you. That is funny. It's like I remember the whole movie kind of being based around a girl, if I remember that correctly. Or am I bugging out? Somebody's daughter, or the girl. Oh, not no. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I think it was his son. His son ends up fighting The girl, like there was a girl character, a female character that was in charge of the other army, and the son and like she tried to seduce him or something, and then they ended up having a fight. But like she was ill, like she was ill. And I remember like somebody had, I think it was him. He threw a spear or something and killed somebody on the boat. This is what happened when you don't remember shit. Like I know I'm touching on stuff that is the case, but I'm just totally messing it up. Max said she was an orphan. Yes, yes, that right. She was an orphan and they took her in, right? That army took her in and they trained her, and she became a killer. Right. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep. All right. Yeah. Matter of fact, I kind of want to watch that again because that was good. Yeah, the girl was evil. Exactly. I got to get my movies back up. I haven't watched a movie since. I don't even remember the last movie I watched in the movie theater. I had wanted to see that the Avengers movie, the most recent one that came out. I didn't see the one before that, the one with Thanos doing all kind of stuff to everybody. I think Thanos killed everybody. Basically, I didn't see that one. Yeah, Endgame. Endgame is the one that's out now, right? Yeah. I actually would like to go see that. Infinity War is the one before that, right? The one with Thanos doing everything. He's like, yes, Mark. I know, man. My movie game is whack now. Yes, thank you, Max. Exactly. Yes. She helped create Xerxes. Exactly. Yeah, so she really was the power behind Xerxes. Like she was iller than Xerxes. And she created him as the whole God King thing, right? Like he was the God King. Okay, yeah, I'm just rewinding a little bit now in my head from what I remember about it. Yeah, that was a good movie. That was pretty good. Yep, that was pretty good. Yep. Ugh. All right, so this market, we'll continue to we'll pick it back up after it reopens. I'm gonna go catch this Starbucks right now. Wow, they got happy hour. I have Starbucks since last week. Need a caramel ribbon crunch. Gotta get that. All right, y'all, let me get up out of here. So I see y'all on training, man. Everybody else, I see y'all mañana. Y'all be easy. Deuces.